What's up, everyone, and welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron. A few weeks ago, when I was doing a New Music Friday, Behemoth was coming out with the new album, so of course I talked about them. And I mentioned that the band has some controversies based around them, and somebody commented asking what those controversies were. And when I looked into it, it was actually quite a bit. So I decided to make a video about it, and not just about Behemoth, but other bands that are banned from other countries and have their own controversies based around them, because me personally being an American, you tend to become ignorant and forget that freedom of speech and freedom to express yourself musically doesn't really extend all around the world. And there's other countries that kind of frown upon certain words and content in music. So yeah, I found that quite interesting, and I tried to get it down to about 5 bands, but there's a lot. So yeah, here we go. Starting things off with Behemoth, they got a 5-year ban and they were expelled from Russia in 2014 due to visa issues. However, the band speculates that visa issues was just an excuse to kick them out because Russia doesn't agree with what they sing about. And in their own country of Poland in 2007, they were added to a list of bands that promotes Satanism and murder. And they were allowed to pretty much play wherever they wanted until 2014 when they were banned from Poznan. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's one of Poland's largest cities, so it's pretty much like being banned from like New York or LA here in America. And they were close to serving jail time for tearing up a Bible during a concert and also having lots of outbursts speaking out against the Catholic Church. Lamb of God got banned from Malaysia in 2013 due to having blasphemous content mentioning the Quran in the intro to Philadelphia, which was a live album in 2005. And in 2012, Randy Blythe was arrested for manslaughter while playing in a concert in Prague in 2010. A fan jumped up on stage and Randy pushed him off, and the fan hit his head and later died. And Randy went to court and he was found to be morally responsible but not criminally liable in 2013. I know a lot of people, like this is something that a lot of people know about Randy Blythe, but I just found this really interesting. And if you look up interviews and different stuff where he talks about it, there's a lot of them on there. It really shows just Randy's character, just how he handled himself, how he chose to go back to the country, to go to court, because he wanted to do the right thing. He felt really bad, and you could tell that he still feels really bad for the incident. And it's just a horrible thing that happened. But yeah, he handled himself really well. I know a lot of fans are behind him 100% still, and it's just, I don't know. I found it really interesting. Definitely go check out some of the interviews of him talking about it and just everything that went down. Cradle of Filth was banned from mainland China in 2013 because the country requires you to submit your set list and your lyrics. And when they have issues with certain words or whatever, sometimes they'll forbid you to sing them, or they will just cut out an entire song from the set list. But Cradle of Filth was banned completely and deemed unsuitable to be playing there, but they were still allowed to play in different parts of the area, like different places in Hong Kong. They just weren't allowed in the main area. So fans were still allowed to enjoy them. If you're in mainland China, you just had to travel a little bit farther, I guess. Eat the Turnbuckle is an underground thrash band that has a really strong wrestling theme to it, in case if you couldn't tell. They were banned from playing in Glasgow due to beating each other up on stage. They use baseball bats and cheese graters and all kinds of different things. And it's pretty wild stuff, considering that the band doesn't understand why they weren't allowed to play there. They say you watch wrestling and these people do all the same stuff, but I've never watched like WWE and seen anybody hit another person with a cheese grater. If you look up videos of these guys on YouTube, it's some pretty gnarly stuff. It's like backyard wrestling, which I get that they might be referencing that, but you don't see backyard wrestling on any television programs. You don't see it like in any actual like venues or anything. So yeah, I still don't understand why they don't understand why they got banned. And I discovered that there's a lot of bands that are banned from Russia. They're pretty intense with their ban hammer, and keep this in mind that this is Russia's government, and see if this makes any sense to you. AC/DC is banned for supposedly spreading neo-fascism. Kiss was dubbed nationalistic. Iron Maiden, the Styx, Scorpions, and the Village People were all banned for being too violent. The Village People are banned from Russia for being too violent. I mean, this is kind of, I find this kind of interesting considering, I mean, it's the Russian government, so I feel like this is kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. Russia's viewed as being a pretty violent and tough place to live. I mean, Alex Terrible, the vocalist for Slaughter to Prevail, has a music video of him literally wrestling a bear because it's a joke that, I mean, Russians, they're tough people. They're really tough. So, I don't know. I just find it just interesting. And I'm sure that these are older bands referring to AC/DC. I'm sure, like, it's not AC/DC, you know, now, obviously, you know, the Village People. This is older stuff. So I'm sure things were different back then and times were different, but it's just interesting to see how things have progressed this far. And it's just, yeah, there's a huge list of bands that are banned from Russia, and some of them are just like Pink Floyd is banned because they don't agree with communism and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, it's weird. And that is it for bands banned from playing in other countries and other controversies. I tried to keep it to stuff that isn't like as well known, and mostly, of course, metal bands, even though I guess the Village People aren't really laying down the heaviest breakdowns. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more randomized kind of videos like this instead of just constantly pumping out music reviews, please give this video a like and let me know in the comments below. Also, while you're done there, let me know what you want me to review next. And as always, if you want to help support me and my channel, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying